All parties in the matter of Demisar versus Davison. Step forward.
18-year-old Katie Demisar is suing her ex-boyfriend, 19-year-old Malik Davison, for an unpaid loan for Jordan tennis shoes, gas money, and for stealing items from her car.
Ms. Demisar, the long and short of your case is you claim you loaned the defendant money, or actually went shopping with him, and bought him a pair of very expensive sneakers. And you wanted that they were a gift, your idea, you were trying to show off because you liked him. Are those the sneakers?
Yes, they are.
Can I see them? Don't get any closer. That's fine. Okay, step back. What do you do for a living, Mr. Davison?
I do landscaping.
Full-time?
Part-time.
What do you do with the other time?
I focus on my football stuff. I play football, so.
For pleasure?
Yeah.
How old are you?
19.
You live at home?
Yes.
So your bills are paid for by your family?
Yes.
And the landscaping business you do?
My uncle.
So he pays you in cash?
Yes.
How much does he pay in cash?
It depends on what type of hours that I do.
Give me an example on a good week.
Okay, so a good week, for 2 days, I'll make like $204 just for 2 days. But through the whole week, I'll make like...
Not like. Eliminate like.
I'll make like $650.
And how many weeks do you work full-time?
About 3.
A year?
Oh, no. About like 7 or 8.
I mean, you don't look like a bad person. You look like a nice person. You know, you make a couple of dollars. You probably don't pay any taxes on this money that your uncle gives you, which is all very, very nice. How much were the sneakers that you bought?
$190.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I work at Panera.
Full-time?
Part-time.
You live at home?
Yes.
So you have the same arrangement with your parents?
Yes, I do move out next month.
To where?
I'm going to school in Winona State.
So you're going to be going to school full-time?
Yes.
Did you pay for his sneakers with a credit card?
Yes.
Whose credit card was it?
Mine.
Do you have a credit card?
Yes, I do.
Did you have your credit card with you when you went shopping for sneakers?
No, I didn't.
Why?
Because I had left my wallet
Left your wallet where?
home.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Judge Judy Katie Demisar says owes for Jordan tennis shoes, gas money, and stealing items from her car.
Now, why would you leave your wallet home?
Because I was rushing out the door.
Okay, good. And how long, Mr. Davidson, did you know the plaintiff before you went shopping for sneakers with her?
I known her for about a good 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Were you dating?
We was talking. We was like into the commits of being together.
Now, why don't you tell me what happened when you went to the sneaker store?
Okay, so these sneakers came out and
What do you mean they came out, they danced out by themselves?
No, no, they was released on a date that everybody wanted to get them. So
Just a second. Say they were released on the date that you wanted to get them.
yes,
Okay. So you went running to the store because you had to see these.
yes.
No.
I had to see these sneakers. And it was the last pair that was in Rochester. So
The last pair
yes.
in all of Rochester.
Yes, size 11. And I said, I really want these sneakers. And, you know, she like, well, I get them for you as long as you pay me back. So I said, I don't really feel comfortable with that. I probably don't have the money to pay you back. And she was like, well, it's okay. I was like a little iffy about it, like if I should say yes or no.
But you really wanted the sneakers.
Yes, I really wanted the sneakers.
So you took them.
Yes, not took them. She paid for them.
She paid for them.
Yes,
And that was on what date?
it was June.
In June.
Yes,
Oh, so you've been doing landscaping business up the yin yang since June in Rochester. It's the
Yeah.
only time you can do anything outdoors in Rochester. June, July. Yeah, so you're working
yes.
all day, 5 days a week. This would be the time. You're not doing landscaping in February in Rochester.
Right,
So why didn't you pay her back for the sneakers?
because it was a gift.
Hey, Mr. Davidson,
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
it wasn't a gift. You said, I'll pay you back when I have the money.
No, I said I was iffy about it.
I said you were iffy about it. What you said? You want me to play the tape back for you? That's exactly what you said to me. She said, I'll buy them for you if you'll pay me back the money. And you said, I don't know if I want to do it, but it's the last pair in the whole city of Rochester. And I really want them. It's all right. I'll get them for you anyway. You pay me back when you can. And I was sort of iffy. But bottom line is, you're wearing the sneakers.
Right.
$190. Now, what else do you think he owes you for?
He also owes me for the gas he used when I had to give him rides everywhere.
Forget it. What up? Don't waste my time.
He stole my swimsuit, my sweatshirt, my Victoria's Secret sweatshirt out of my car. He stole food out of my car because I'm constantly working. So I have a
Judgment for the
stack of
plaintiff
food.
for the amount of $190. We're done. Thank you.
Please are excused when they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Sullivan, I've read your complaint. According to that complaint, the defendant owes you for a loan that you made to him. A loan
Yes.
in the amount of $3,600.
That's correct.
And you and the defendant were friends. You had met through a mutual friend. According to you, he came to you at some point with a tragic story and his need for money.
Yes.
You want to tell me when that was?
September 24th, 2015.
How long had you known him?
About a year plus a few months.
Did he come to your house or did he call you on the phone?
He had called me. We had met, and
Where did you meet?
we met at his house.
This is untrue, Leona.
I don't want to hear you. There's no issue with regard to whether she gave you the money. You acknowledged she gave you the $3,600.
No.
Oh, yes, you did in your answer. You absolutely did. There's no question that you acknowledged that she gave you $3,600, but there's no issue that she gave you the money.
Okay. The first moment that Jay explained to me was at his home. I was sitting on his couch next to him. He was hysterically crying. He said that his home was going to be foreclosed on, that he would be losing his home. I knew that, in fact, there was a 6-year-old, I believe it's a nephew, that is living with them, that him and his wife take care of a child. I felt extremely bad and was very worried and concerned about the situation and agreed to lend him the money. However, he agreed to get it back to me in a very timely fashion. He showed me the business card.
Okay, did you give him a check?
I gave him $2,500 cash. I gave him a check for $825 on September 24th.
That's an odd figure. You want to explain why?
He had trouble. He said, I believe he has a car payment roughly of $400 a month. I'm not positive, but he needed a check to deposit. He had no money in his bank. He was fearful that he couldn't cash a check that large. I happened to keep cash in my safe because of emergencies. I went to Hurricane Katrina, realized cash is king.
Okay. Do you have a copy of that check?
I do.
I'd like to see it.
Your Honor, may I also tell you some other evidence that I have?
About the money, the cash itself?
Yes. Because of the large amount of cash, I said that I would need some kind of collateral. I had him sign over his pickup truck to me. And
I'd like to see that.
I did not. I just put a nominal fee of $1,500 on it because it's worth so much more that if I was going to get the truck, I would make out better in the deal.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, here is the checks and here is his signature. He signed it gladly when the cash was in his face. Here you go.
Money that you want to show me.
I just have a very messy checkbook register, and I can.
I see the $850.
Well, it's just that I write down notes. I put $2,500 cash to Jay. I had avoided a check at one point because
Not necessary.
And also, just so you were aware, I gave him quite a bit of time to come up with the money.
Just a second.
And I was very.
Just a second. I have a question. I know you have a drill.
Okay, sure.
I have a question. Did he ever repay any part of that money?
A total of $120.
When did he pay the $120?
When I was to pick up the pickup truck about 3 to 4 weeks ago.
This is untrue, Your Honor.
When you threatened to go and pick up his pickup
Yes.
truck?
I have retained an attorney in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Okay, so then he gave you one payment of $120. Payment of $120. You do not.
He has it, but I don't.
Was there anyone present when he gave you that $120 4 weeks ago?
No, there was not.
How was it communicated to him that you were going to pick up his truck?
Verbally by me and from the Candy Police Department. I have gone to the police department over 5 times. I do have statements from the chief, and
Is that a police report or
Yes.
just is a police report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
there's a couple of reports from the chief because
Don't
the
tell me
first
because.
time.
Don't tell me because.
Oh
If
no,
you would
I'm
miss-
just saying the dates. The original was in November.
Just a second.
Okay, there you go.
Well, this is an email.
Well, if you look
From
behind it,
This is, if you could return that to her, please. Okay. Now I have 2 different stories that you told the police. So now I'm going to go to Mr. Spaulding. It is clear, Mr. Spaulding,
Your Honor.
it is also clear to me, based upon the police report, which includes statements from you, that you believe that you owe her some money.
I don't think I owe her at this time now.
Well, that's incorrect, based upon what you told the police.
I never went to see the police at all. I never was down there.
You told the police.
This is all
police
he's-
chief. And you called him.
Who?
You called him.
He called me.
Oh, well, great. See, always step on your own tie. Now, you had a conversation with him, and you assured him that you were going to start to pay her $100 a month.
Absolutely.
Now, how much did you pay her?
Well, on some of the occasions,
Well is not an answer. I have a date on this.
Okay.
How much did you pay her?
on all right here, I've tried to pay her numerous times. I've had my occasions. What you're not hearing is the full truth. I did work for this lady.
She absolutely said that to the police the first time, but she didn't tell me.
Right.
She said she fronted you some money, and she fronted you some money to do work for her because you were
Yes.
you were complaining that you were going to lose your house.
That is untrue.
Okay.
I never went to her and complained that I was going to lose my house.
Listen to me, sir. How old are you?
59 years old.
I'm older. I have plenty of places where I have workmen work for me.
Yes.
People that I know and trust who have companies, not people who are going to carry wood from the back to the front of the house like you allege
I
you
do more
did.
than that.
Pay attention. They never get paid up front. They get paid when the job is done. Now, they may get a certain amount of money if it's a huge job, if they're redoing a kitchen, if they're moving my house back 4 feet. They may get a startup money and then bill during the next 30 days. But they don't be a reason that she gave you this money up front. She tells me a perfectly cogent reason. Now I'm waiting for yours, why she gave you the money up front.
It was a down payment of $800. I have it right here on one of her receipts.
It was a down payment of what, $800 for what?
For work to be done at her home.
Just a second. I'm asking you a question.
And I did some work.
No, just a second. I'm asking you a
Go ahead,
question.
Joanna. I'm sorry.
I never knew anybody
It was a
who
down
was retaining somebody's services to do menial work, paying them up front for that work unless there was a reason. She gave me a cogent reason. I'm waiting for your reason. And if you tell me she paid me up front again because I was going to do some work for her.
Judge Judy continues. Sullivan says her former friend, James Spaulding, owes for unpaid loans.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, it was a down payment.
It was a down payment.
Yes, and I did work there at her home, several different jobs.
Just a second. Now, you're 59 years old, and what do you do for a living?
Handyman.
Who do you work for?
Just myself.
Have you always worked just for yourself?
No.
When was the last time you had a full-time job?
2000s, early 2000s.
Okay. Do you receive any sort of disability?
No. Yes.
Do you receive any sort of disability? That's either yes or no.
No.
No. Well, I want to know who the last person was that you worked for and how much you made.
I can't tell you that right now. I'm a little confused. I'm a little nervous. And
I'll let you sit down so you get unconfused and get unnervous.
But you know, I just want to clarify something with you, Your Honor.
No, I want an answer to my question. And you can sit down until you figure out who the last person you worked for.
I can't.
Listen, if you
I can't tell you any part about my side of my defense then.
I asked you for a living as a handyman.
Various people. I don't have names and addresses, ma'am, in front of me.
Not various people. I don't want
I'm just
various
telling you
names. I said I want the last person.
I don't really recall the
And
last
it couldn't
person.
have been within the last month.
Yeah, there was work before her. I just can't think of who they were right now. You know, I didn't bring this evidence with me. Didn't think I'd be happy to have this, Your Honor. That's all.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,600. We're done.
Thank you.
Judge Judy, may step up.
I'm very pleased with her decision.
I feel that this was not treated in my fairness at all.
There's no reason someone would sign your car over for nothing.
I gave that to her as something with my name on it and told her that this truck had a lien on it, that it couldn't be taken.
I'm not going to lend any money to anybody.
She said it.
Bodies in the matter of Dickerson versus Falls. Step forward.
Robbie Dickerson is suing his sister, Shalonda Falls, for unpaid traffic tickets.
Mr. Dixon, you bought a car, put it in your sister's name. This is your sister.
Yes, miss.
Who paid for the car?
I did.
If you paid for the car, were you making a gift to your sister of the car?
Yes.
And why were you making a gift to your sister of the car?
So my dad can be, so that's what I was doing.
Well, but the car is kept in your name. So if you were making a gift to your sister, why didn't you give her the car and put the car in her name?
Well, she wasn't around at the time.
What do you mean she wasn't around?
She wasn't around at the time when I went and purchased the vehicle.
Well, that's okay.
So I just went on and put it into my name at the time. And then when we found her, then we was going to do the transfer and switch everything into her name when we found her.
You think I'm buying the story? I'm not buying the story at all. So far.
Judge Judy continues. His sister, Shalonda Falls, owes for traffic tickets. Shalonda is countersuing for a false CPS report.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I bought the vehicle.
Oh, I know you bought the vehicle, and the vehicle is in your name.
Correct.
And she drives the vehicle, and she got parking tickets
Correct.
when she got the car. Okay, you want the car back?
No, miss.
Well, because this car is still in your name, right?
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So you just get a marshal and you go and get the car.
Correct.
If it's your car.
Correct.
But your sister's going to tell me another reason that you didn't put the car in your sister's name. Do you have a driver's license?
I have a driver's license
Why didn't he put the car in your name?
because it's his car. He's not trying to give it to me.
Oh, you were driving the car.
Yes, I'll show for my dad.
Good. And you got tickets.
Yes, I
While
did.
you were
I
driving.
got one ticket.
You got a ticket, so you have to pay for it.
Right.
Right. Why didn't you pay for it?
I went to court for that ticket. It's right here. I got proof. It got thrown out.
It got thrown
It
out.
got thrown out.
I'd like to see it, because that's his
No.
lawsuit. February 9th, 2015, cell phone use while driving. Is that the ticket?
No,
that-
miss.
Very good. So if that's not the ticket that you're
That's the only
talking
ticket
about,
that I
this
have.
was a cell phone use and motor vehicle
Here's
without
all the
operated
tickets we
without
collected.
insurance was dismissed.
This is Alliance 1 with the collections. And then the tickets are right here. So sorry.
Great.
This is all the information for the tickets.
Like I said, please?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, these are different tickets.
Right. Them are not mine. Everybody else drive that truck. His twin brother, my daughter, everybody has drove that truck. So that's not my
Well,
tickets.
just a second. Just a second.
Mhm.
Hold on. So other people use the vehicle.
Yes, correct.
I am going to suggest to you Mr. Dickerson, that unless you could prove to me that she has sole custody of this and nobody else is permitted to drive it since the car is in your name, and what she says is...
These tickets are photo enhancement tickets. Our officer is not there present at all.
Oh, do you have her driving?
To take pictures of them.
Oh, you have... Do you...
The vehicle at the time. My dad can't drive. He has
No, that's not what she's saying. She's not saying your dad drives. She said that there are other people that drive...
There's no other people that live in the home. That's a lie, Your Honor.
They don't have to live in the home to drive the car. What I'm going to suggest to you is take the car back. Do you understand? What kind of car did you buy?
It was a 99 Chevrolet Tahoe.
Great. And you still drive it?
No, I have my own vehicle.
Just where is the car now?
The vehicle is still at the house where she lives at.
Get it?
It's out of my name.
Well,
my dad's name and her at the time when these tickets was present.
Just a second. So at the time that these...
Yes, miss. They was already out of my name.
So it's out of your name?
Yeah.
And it never was in my name.
Great.
Yeah, but they're coming back into me.
Okay. You have a counterclaim that he filed false child protective services?
Yes.
Against you? I got 30 seconds before... Go ahead.
Okay, well, these are all the officers that I took cards for coming to my house every night, waking me and my children up, stating they had to check on my kids because I was falsely neglecting my kids. He was the CPS worker. I have proof that the cases are closed.
Just a second. All I want to know is what proof do you have?
Okay, well, he did this because of the ticket.
Shh. Just a second.
Okay.
First thing you have to show me is proof that he called Child Protective Services.
Well, I don't have proof that he did it.
Well, that's all I need. That's what I need for your counterclaim. Proof
I have
that he
all
called Child
this
Protective
right
Services. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $498 for the tickets. Counterclaim is dismissed.
Thank you,
This
Your
is
Honor.
lunch. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Ridiculous because it's family.
I'm happy that I received my justice.
It's hurting me because we're not close like we used to, and I would never do that to them.
I still love my sister, and my family's gonna always be family.
I just hope that it's all over and we just get close back like we was and just move on.
You know I love her.
Now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of 2 versus Swanson. Step forward.
Aaron 2 is suing his ex-girlfriend, Christina Swanson, for unpaid loans and the return of his belongings.
Mr. Two, it is your claim that the defendant, who was a short-term girlfriend of yours, owes you for a small loan. In addition to the loan, she has 2 items of yours. One is a barbecue grill and the other is a laptop. Ms. Swanson says that there was never a loan and that the 2 items that you referred to were gifts from you to her. The grill you bought for $20 at some garage sale, and the laptop was a used laptop that you gave her to use, which she is still using, along with her son. That's the case. And stalking. By the way, do you have a police report for that stalking?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in Christina Swanson owes for loans and the return of belongings. Christina is countersuing for stalking and harassment.
Okay, Mr. Two, you met Ms. Swanson, according to you, on an online dating site, and that was in March of this year. When and why the first loan?
The first loan was a credit card purchase for merchandise that she resells at parties and festivals.
Oh, tell me about it. When was it?
This is
No, don't give it to me. I'm asking.
okay. It's 5/10/16.
So May, short while ago. And how much was that for?
$205.63.
And what store was it from?
It's called Flat.com.
So it was bought over the internet?
No, she went in person, but
No, she went in person.
yes, she did.
Did you go with her?
No, I did not.
Did you give her your credit card?
Yes, I did.
Why?
I loved her, and we were in a relationship, and I cared about her well-being.
Right. Good. Next loan. Next loan.
It was not necessarily a loan to begin with.
I understand. Could we move on?
It was $300 that I gave her for savings.
Well, tell me about it.
Like I said, it's $300 I gave her in cash that we were going to save to invest.
When?
May 14th. It's after I bought the property.
You gave her $300 to invest?
It was just to put it away, safekeeping, so that we would be able to invest in property that I purchased, yeah. It was just...
And then?
And
That was in
then,
May.
after she had it for about 3 weeks...
Okay, now we're
on
into June.
Yes, we were
in June.
We're in a telephone call, and she had been working, but hadn't received her paycheck.
Just on the telephone call?
Yes, and she...
Where was she living?
And she lives behind the guy's house.
And you were living in your residence?
Yes.
So she called you?
And it kind of went like she said that she didn't have any groceries. And I said, well, you go ahead and use the money that you have put away for us. When you get paid, go ahead and put the money back.
And?
I mean, that's how the conversation went,
What else?
Oh, you mean the property that I want back? That's it for the loans. I mean...
Oh, keep going.
The Surface, I let her borrow when she was doing resumes and looking for work, and it's not something that I use.
When?
When did I let her borrow it? The exact date? It was probably May 10th, May 11th. It's hard for me to have those exact dates because a lot of that stuff was on the computer. Reference.
So you're telling me that the laptop that you let her borrow was the only laptop, computer, iPad that you own? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's the only one I own. I use my cell phone
Just say either a yes or a no.
Judge Judy continued. Ex-girlfriend Christina Swanson owes for loans and the return of belongings. Christina is countersuing for stalking and harassment.
Now, do you have a computer in your home?
I have a desktop computer.
That's what I'm asking you. So you have a computer in your home, and you started to say that you use your iPhone for the other things that you don't have to have great memory for. I don't know.
Correct.
I don't use all those things. So in May, you let her borrow your laptop.
Yeah.
When did you purchase the laptop?
It was purchased November 27, 2013, Your Honor. Yes, the grill, even though I did buy it at a yard sale for a very good price, it wasn't in very good condition, and I had to refurbish it. And I took it over to her place because I don't know if you've ever been in a fifth wheel, but...
Listen to me.
Oh, yes.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I'm not interested. It's over.
It is.
It's over. And the only thing that I have to ask you, Ms. Swanson, is as follows. I couldn't be less interested in the purchase of $205 that you made on his credit card that he gave you.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be less interested in the $300 that he gave you to hold on to. And you said, I have to use. Could I use some of that $300? And he said, sure. Pay it back when you can. And I don't get started with when can you. That's not what we do here in courts. Any counterclaim for harassment and stalking.
Yes, I do.
Two of the things that he wants, even though they're nonsense, are his grill that he paid nothing for at a yard sale and his laptop. Why don't you just give them back to him?
Well, because he gave them.
No, so what?
Yeah.
If you're really concerned about stalking and harassment, and you know that there are two things that he wants back, why wouldn't you give it to him?
Originally, Your Honor, I did say I would give him the things back after he did follow us. And he did...
Just a second. So why didn't you?
I gave him an opportunity. He never came.
What do you mean?
I sent him... my son sent him a message, on my phone, explaining to him that we could get together on Thursday. He could come and pick his items up with the monitoring of the neighbor.
Can I see that?
He did not... Yes, I can. You can.
I have a copy of those, Your Honor.
I'd like to take a look. While she's looking.
This is the text message that my son sent him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Show up when you were supposed to?
When was I supposed to?
Next week we start at 6, so I'll be off at 4:30. Are you wanting to make the exchange at the sheriff's station? That works for me. If it would be easier, I could pick the things up at your place either way.
Did she respond?
Is there a response?
No, there wasn't.
Okay, your counterclaim for stalking and harassment is dismissed. I will put an order in that you and the company of a marshal may retrieve your grill and your laptop within 5 days of today. Do you understand?
I understand.
We're done.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Step forward.
Diana Wright is suing her former friend, Carrie Spitzak, for the value of a car and a false restraining order.
How long have you and the defendant been friends?
Since I think it was 2012 or 13. I'm not positive which year.
And why would she give you a car?
Because I had helped her out a lot. We had both helped each other out. I believe it was the end of 2012 or 13. Like I said, I'm not sure. I would take her son home from work for her and different things.
Taking her son home from work and giving you a car, two different things. This is what the case is about. You say she gave you a car and then she took it back.
Yes.
And you want the value of the car.
Yes.
She says, yes, I gave her a car. But the deal was she was supposed to maintain the insurance on the car.
Right. That's right.
And she did not maintain the insurance on the car, and she took it back.
That's
she
right.
She said when she took it back, it was a disaster.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. So I have just a few questions. She gave you what kind of car and when?
Mercedes ML 320, and it was on April 15th. She had been promising it.
I don't give it. No.
Okay.
You may not.
Thank you.
On April 15th of this year.
Correct.
Okay. And did you ever have the car registered in your name?
I believe that's what I have, because I started the transfer and everything.
Did you ever have the car registered in your name?
Yes, it is now.
It is now.
No, it's not, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Diana Wright says former friend Carrie Spitzak illegally repossessed her car. Carrie is countersuing for money owed and stolen property.
Okay. When did you have it transferred to your name and registered?
April 19th.
Of this year?
Yes.
I'd like to see that.
I believe that's the date she's looking for.
Great. Well, this was a salvaged car.
Yes. Your Honor, I have paperwork that says it's in my name from the police department.
Just a second. And you were driving the car?
No, I was not driving the car. Well, I did when I first took it away from there, from her house.
On the 15th of April?
Correct.
And on what date did you take the car back?
The 15th of April. I finally got a hold of her that night.
The same day?
Same day she brought it back.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, Your
Just
Honor.
a second.
called her for
Your
hours.
defense is that she failed to insure the car, which was part of the agreement.
Right.
So you mean you found out on the same day that you gave it to her that
Yes.
she didn't have insurance?
Yes.
Explain that to me.
Okay. She told me she had insurance, and I thought, I'm going to double up on this insurance, and I'm going to go online, and I'm going to get her second insurance because I didn't want her to get in an accident and me be responsible. Could not insure her because of her credit.
Okay. Well, I don't know that.
Couldn't insure her. So I called her.
Just a second. Do you have any proof of that?
I have just what I wrote up and the emails I gave her.
That's not proof.
Your
Just
Honor,
a second. At some point, she called you about insurance.
Yes.
I would like to see proof of insurance that you had insurance on April 19th, which is the day that you told me you registered. In order to register a car, you have to have insurance.
Right.
Show me that you had insurance on April 19th. That's easy.
Okay, I did not have insurance on the April 19th. And the agreement wasn't about insurance when I got it on the 15th.
Yes, it was.
I had told her that I could add it to my previous insurance that I already had for my car. Well, she didn't want me to do that.
Just a second. You had a car at the time she gave you this car?
Yes.
Well, show me proof of insurance on any car.
Oh, I didn't know I needed insurance. Things
Your
on
Honor,
my
may I
phone.
say
Great.
something? I felt she told me she had cancer and she was dying and she was my caregiver when I came home from the hospital. So I felt sorry for her because
Listen to me. I'm not interested in your story.
But I let her have the car.
I'm not interested in your story.
May I show you?